Oh, hey, welcome back. Listen, you know what? A good question was asked the other day. How do you figure out, or how are you sure that you're ordering when you're getting parts and stuff like that you're ordering either vintage or new stuff, right? Well, like so, I have boxes of parts that I bought in the '90s and stuff like that they couldn't be re-released new parts because they were produced before re-releases even became a thing, right? Like the frogs in the back, like that's an entirely different parts car made specifically from parts that I bought to restore what became this. And this was like probably five cars, five frogs I bought just to get different parts and conditions and stuff like that, right? The Grasshopper 2 I've had since the beginning, the Blitzer Beetle, the Wild Dagger, the Super Hornet I've had since the beginning, so I know that they're all original, right? I'm the first owner on those. The Falcon has never been re-released before, so any parts that I get for that, yeah, they're original, right? The Grasshoppers have been released, Monster Beetles have been re-released. The Super Clods have been a staple up until, from what I understand, this month. So like parts for the regular Clod were easy to source. If I wanted new stuff, the Super Blackfoot, I bought this from the original owner, and just by looking at it and touching it and working on it, it's definitely got that feel to it. The King Blackfoot has never been released, so and working on that and having the other ones that I used, the original one that I sold, and the other one that I used. Yeah, I mean I'm fairly confident that that's all original, right? A lot of it has to do with the trust in the sellers too. Like the person who sold me the Monster Beetle, I am very confident that the Monster Beetle is original parts, and anything that I did to it, like I noted, like these lights here, those are re-release ones because they were broken, and I didn't want to pay a fortune to get brand original or period original lights, right? So like in this tablet here, I have a bunch of stuff written down for my restores and what I've gone through and whatever, just to note down so I know what's new and what's old, right? The RC10s, right? All the re-releases that are in front, with the exception of these two, obviously, because they are new. The four-wheel drives are new releases, right? But those guys back there, those are all original, except they've got new bodies. Now, I know that for a fact because I purchased all of those, and the parts that I purchased before those were purchased before they re-released this bad boy right here, the 40th. So there's like nothing I can do about that, right? I know for a fact that they started making re-release, but these were bought and refurbed in the back before the 40th anniversary or the Worlds or the Graphite one was released, with the exception of the bodies. I mean, I bought that body and did that body before the 40th anniversary release. That's a J Concepts body, but that one, that's a 40th anniversary body, because when I was finishing this up, I only, this one, the 40th had been re-released, so it was like, I'm going to use that body. And if I ever go to sell them, I'll make sure that they know, whoever buys it, that it's all original with the exception of the body and the stickers, because the stickers are MCIs, right? And the stickers are, I bought a couple sticker sheets from the 40th to reuse, like, these, the vent hole things, and some of the other, like the striping and stuff like that. The RC10L, I know that's 100% original because they haven't re-released that one. They only re-released the 12, right? And the body came from my hobby shop. He went up in the attic and dug out and dusted off generations of dust to get that body. So I know that's a protoform body. I even have the bag for it. The RC10T was bought this one was bought before this one was re-released, so I'm, you know, I'm fairly confident that, and I can compare both of them, that this one's original and that one isn't. And yeah, so, and I used parts from purchases for the RC10s, the ones that I could use, like let's say the battery holders for the RC10T, and I know for a fact that I bought them before the re-release came out, so those were whatever. But the important thing is, like, so the re-releases are great. It just, the other thing too is, like, I look at them and I feel, you know, like just even the bumpers, right? So like this bumper, this bumper, this bumper, exactly the same. They're the same one. They're the Lancia mold, right? But if we go over here, you know, the Grasshopper 2, the Super Hornet, right? Not the Falcon, because the Falcon's got a flat bumper. But even the Frogs, right? There's something about the plastic, the way they feel, that just doesn't show their age. So maybe it's me, maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. But it's like the feel of the plastic too. The Clodbusters, like I said, with the Super Clods, I noticed that there's an ABS stamp underneath where it says, you know, 1987 Clodbuster. So there's a Tamiya ABS stamp there. So that's how I can tell the difference between original and at least new Super Clod, right? Or older, whatever. But again, the trust aspect of who I'm sourcing the parts from is, you know, well, it has a lot to do with it, right? You know, the guy who I bought the Grasshopper from, he could have just sold me a Riri and just ran it around the yard 100 times and just be whatever. But I'm fairly certain that, you know, because I trust that person and I've purchased from that person before, that it is an original, you know? I mean, like the guy over here, this body, I thought it was just a yellowed type picture. I didn't know he painted it yellow. This is all original with the exception of the wheels and tires in the back, right? And that's got a Castle 9000 kV motor in it. I was going to use that for the speed challenge, but I didn't want to wreck a vintage, beautiful, slightly off-color Grasshopper, you know? Now the Bandit, I know the Bandit's an early one because it's got the the yellow non-waterproof speed control and, you know, stuff. So, like, you know, but the other thing too is, if this is your collection, right, and you've been building these and whatever, and you want to use new parts to restore an old vehicle, who cares? If that's what makes you happy, I'm happy for you. This is what makes me happy. And that's it. I mean, I have used re-release parts on certain cars, like the rear body posts on this one. The original body posts aren't available. I tried to outsource them through a 3D printing website, and when they got to me, they were horribly wrong. So what did I do? I searched on the internet. I found out that the rear body posts for the Blackfoot fit the Super Blackfoot. They're just not the original ones. Okay, fine. So I put original re-release rear body posts on that one, and I made a note in my pad. So, you know, it made me happy. At the end of the day, everybody has to be happy. So if you're happy with what you have on your shelves, then I'm happy for you. And if anybody doesn't want you to be happy, well, maybe you let the garbage take itself out. Maybe you take the garbage out. Who knows? We don't need that kind of negativity. At the end of the day, we're adults playing with toys, right? They're fun toys. You know, I mean, I have these and I have the trains. One day I'll show those. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? We're grown-ups playing with toys. And at the end of the day, if you're happy, who cares what anybody else says? You know? You do you. I do me. And, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.